Behind every legendary band stood a drummer keeping time, holding everything together. Yet history shows us they were often the first to be forgotten, fired, or mistreated. These are 10 moments that made fans everywhere feel genuinely bad for the guy behind the kit. Number 10. Bill Ward. The night started like any other wild party at the house they were renting from John DuPont. Bill Ward passed out drunk, and his bandmates thought it would be hilarious to cover him head to toe in gold spray paint. What seemed like a harmless prank nearly killed him. The paint blocked his pores, triggering violent seizures that required an ambulance. Doctors informed the band this stunt could have been fatal. Somehow, that was not even the worst of it. In a separate incident, guitarist Tony Iommi doused Ward in some accelerant and set him on fire. When Ward started screaming, Iommi assumed it was part of the joke. Ward suffered serious burns to his body. Being the drummer for Black Sabbath in the 70s was genuinely dangerous. Number 9. Pete Best. August 16, 1962. One of the most devastating firings in rock history. Pete Best had been the Beatles' drummer for 2 years, helping build their reputation through hundreds of grueling shows in Hamburg and Liverpool. The band had just passed their audition for Parlophone Records 2 months earlier. Success was finally within reach. Then manager Brian Epstein called Best into his office with uncomfortable news. The other Beatles wanted him out. Ringo Starr replaced him immediately. Within a year, Beatlemania swept the globe, and the band became the biggest act in music history. Best later admitted that behind closed doors, he cried like a baby. He had been part of the journey, just not the destination. Number 8. Steven Adler. Appetite for Destruction sold nearly 30 million copies worldwide. Steven Adler's thunderous drumming on tracks like Welcome to the Jungle and Paradise City helped define the raw sound of late 80s. Hard rock. The album made Guns N' Roses one of the biggest bands on the planet. Adler was at the center of it all, living the rock star dream. Then heroin took over. His addiction grew so severe that by 1990, the band had no choice but to let him go. Matt Sorum took his place for the Use Your Illusion albums, but fans always recognized something was missing. Adler's swing and energy had been irreplaceable. He struggled for decades with recovery, watching from the sidelines as his former bandmates achieved even greater success. Number 7. Liberty DeVito. Nearly 30 years, nearly a dozen studio albums. Liberty DeVito was the heartbeat behind Billy Joel's biggest hits, from his mid-1970s joining through We Didn't Start the Fire and beyond. His work on albums like The Stranger and 52nd Street helped define the sound of a generation. No drummer had a longer tenure in Joel's band. DeVito was family. Then, in 2004, he discovered he was being phased out because he had not been invited to Joel's wedding that October. No phone call, no meeting, just silence. He later filed a lawsuit claiming he was owed hundreds of thousands in unpaid royalties for his contributions to the music. The case settled in 2010, but the relationship never recovered. Decades of loyalty ended with a wedding invitation that never arrived. The documentary Hired Gun later told his story to a new audience. Number 6. Kate Schellenbach. Before License to Ill became the first rap album to hit number 1 on the Billboard 200, the Beastie Boys were a hardcore punk band. Kate Schellenbach was their drummer, part of the original lineup since 1981. She helped shape their early sound and identity. Then, producer Rick Rubin entered the picture. When the Beastie Boys' collaboration with Def Jam and Rubin took shape in 1984 and into 1985, Shelon was reconfigured out of the lineup. She found out in the most humiliating way possible, encountering her former bandmates on the street in new Adidas tracksuits that Rubin had bought them. Nobody had told her she was out. Licensed to Ill sold over 10 million copies. Years later, the Beastie Boys made partial amends by signing her new band Luscious Jackson to their Grand Royal label. Before we continue, which drummer on this list hit you the hardest so far? Did you ever own any of these albums back in the day? Drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from today. Number 5. Stan Lynch.
You'll have a yard the size of Texas.
Over 18 years behind the kit, Stan Lynch was a founding member of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers when the band formed in 1976 in Gainesville, Florida. He helped build the group from nothing into one of rock's most beloved acts. Damn the Torpedoes, Hard Promises, Southern accents, Lynch was there for all of it, playing on every album through the late 1980s. Then in late 1994, it ended. His final performance with the band was at the Bridge School benefit concert on October 2nd. The departure has been described as mutual by both parties, though it came without fanfare or proper acknowledgement of what Lynch had contributed. Petty later expressed some regret about how the transition was handled. Lynch went on to successful songwriting work, including co-writing the album track Learn to Be Still for the Eagles' Hell Freezes Over album. But the exit still left a scar. Number 4. Dave Abrazi. In 1991, grunge ruled the world and Pearl Jam needed a permanent drummer. Dave Abrazi got the call. He went on to record 2 of the band's biggest albums, V's and Vitalogy, both released during the peak of their mainstream dominance. His powerful playing helped sell millions of records. He was living the dream alongside Eddie Vedder and the rest of the band. But Abrazi had a fundamental conflict with the band's ethos. While Pearl Jam waged war against Ticketmaster and corporate rock culture, Abrazi did not share their anti-capitalist views. His outgoing personality clashed with the band's grunge identity. In 1994, they parted ways over what they called personality conflicts. When Pearl Jam was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2017, Abrazi was not included in the drummer inductees alongside Dave Cruzan and Matt Cameron, an exclusion he described as deeply hurtful. Number 3. Mick Avery. (1965). The Kinks were on stage when drummer Mick Avery finally snapped. After years of verbal and physical abuse from guitarist Dave Davies, Avery struck back. He swung his hi-hat pedal at Davies and knocked him unconscious on stage. The show ended in chaos. Davies required medical attention. It became one of rock's most infamous onstage incidents. The violence stemmed from years of deep personal conflict between the two musicians. Well, I'm not the world's most physical guy. Despite this explosive moment, Avery remained in the band for another 19 years until 1984. When Ray Davies later invited Avery back, he declined. After 2 decades of fighting, he had earned the right to walk away. Number 2. Chad Channing. Bleach cost around $600 to record and launched one of the most important bands in rock history. Chad Channing was behind the drums for that debut album, providing the foundation for Nirvana's early sound. He played countless shows as the band built its following throughout 1989 and 1990. He was there for the grind before the glory. Then during demo sessions for what would become Nevermind, friction grew over the creative process. Channing had wanted more of a collaborative songwriting role but was largely excluded, and the tension became irreconcilable. Dave Grohl took his place, and within a year, Smells Like Teen Spirit changed rock forever. Nevermind sold over 30 million copies. Either way he departed, Channing missed the revolution by months. Number 1. Ringo Starr. August 1968. The White Album sessions had grown tense, and Ringo Starr quietly packed his bags and left the Beatles. He felt unwanted. Paul McCartney had started playing drums on some tracks himself, and Ringo believed his contributions no longer mattered.
Regret it someday.
For nearly 2 weeks he stayed away, convinced the band was better off without him. But the other Beatles disagreed entirely. They sent messages asking him to return, reminding him how essential he was to their sound. The gesture that moved him most came from George Harrison. When Ringo walked back into Abbey Road Studios, he found his drum kit covered in flowers arranged to welcome him back, put together by roadie Mal Evans on George's instruction.
We can work it out. We can work it out.
He finished the album, stayed through Abbey Road and Let It Be, and went on to become one of the most beloved musicians in history. Unlike others on this list, Ringo's story ended with a hug, not a goodbye.